Chapter 41. Awe and Reverence. The reaction to the presence of the true God. From the previous chapter. Third person Pav. As Rimuru thought, he made his presence known to the world. And the world felt it. It trembled the unmistakable presence of the true God, a being above them with absolute authority and power. Continue third person Pav. As Rimuru made his presence known, the entire world felt an immense invisible weight. All around the globe, not only in the cardinal world but throughout the entire tensura and fiction realms, people, monsters, demons, and angels, any living or non-living beings, existent or non-existent, felt it. They collapsed to the ground, crushed by the immense pressure, unable to withstand the overwhelming presence. Even beings as powerful as the true dragons, or those with greater strength, found themselves involuntarily kneeling. Their actions were not a matter of their own choice. The sheer pressure from Rimuru's presence forced them into submission. The very air vibrated with his power, leaving no doubt about his supremacy. Those who had never before bowed to anyone now found themselves at the mercy of Rimuru's overwhelming presence. Rimuru didn't release his aura or his haki. He didn't release any type of energy. He released nothing, absolutely nothing. What he did was simply make his presence known. Normally, he erases his presence completely, so that even if he stands in front of people, they wouldn't be aware of his existence unless he talks to them, makes any type of contact with them, or wants them to be aware of him. But now, he has stopped erasing his presence and made it known, and it has had a huge impact on the world, be it tensura, fiction, or oblivion. Throughout the entire world, everyone is aware of Rimuru's existence, or they are aware of a supreme being above all others, one who commands absolute authority, and whose power is beyond challenge. Now, they know that there is someone who is above everyone else, someone who is absolute, and against whom no one would dare act. However, they don't know who this person is, except for some individuals who are familiar with Rimuru and aware of his existence, such as true dragons, primordial demons, Dino, Shizue, Ramrus, and others like them. While this was going on, the voice of the world made an abrupt announcement, or, should we say, it addressed a person. It said, "The arrival of the supreme deity has been confirmed. Welcome back, my lord." The voice of the world said, and it was heard by everyone in tensura, and when it said everyone, it means everyone. The voice of the world made that announcement because, even though this system doesn't have its own ego and is devoid of any and all emotions, it is still aware that this system is under Veldanava. It's akin to the void, an entity aware of its own existence and its creator, Veldanava, acknowledging him as its master. And because Rimuru is above Veldanava, and Veldanava himself acknowledges Rimuru as a stronger and superior being than him, the system also acknowledges Rimuru as a superior being to Veldanava. Because it acknowledges Rimuru as superior to and stronger than Veldanava, it also acknowledges Rimuru as its master, just like it acknowledges Veldanava. Up until now, Rimuru had concealed or erased his presence. However, when he made his presence known, the voice of the world became aware of him. And due to his acknowledgement of Rimuru as its master, it greeted Rimuru. As the voice of the world greeted Rimuru or announced it to everyone, this only threw the whole world into chaos, just as Rimuru wanted. Truly, Rimuru lived up to his title, the Chaos Creator. However, for the people who know Rimuru and recognize him instantly when he makes his presence known, their reaction is different from others. While the whole world is in chaos, these people are having entirely different reactions to the world. Some are confused, some are excited, some are interested, and some are pretending to be asleep, even after recognizing who this person is. Lazy bastards. Shizue is confused because she doesn't understand why Rimuru is suddenly making his presence known. While she is confused, our weirdo is feeling pleasure. Just like Shizue, Ramrus is also confused about why Rimuru has made his presence known all of a sudden. But the most interesting reaction is from the primordials, who are currently present in hell. Right now, one of the remaining primordials in hell, Tensura, is confused yet somehow excited about Rimuru making his presence known. But opposite her, the battle maniac duo is acting crazily. Right now, Carrera and Ultima are overjoyed because they think that Rimuru is going to fight them, and they believe they will have the fight of their lives. However, there are a few people having more interesting reactions than these individuals, and they are in different locations. First, location. Ice continent. In the northeast part of the world, which is covered in ice of all times, lies the ice continent. This place is also known as the ice continent, where the second, third oldest true dragon and the second true demon lord reside. Normally, no one dares to venture here because of the cold temperatures, and even if they did, they would encounter the two beings who are among the strongest individuals in the world. People all over the world fear them, excluding some, of course. But contrary to what people think, these individuals are just like normal people, albeit extremely powerful, and with some weird personality traits like being too prideful, childish, or quite scary. But today, these individuals are just chilling around. One red hobo demon is casually drinking his wine with something to eat, while the mature dragon lady is sitting on the balcony, gazing outside, and thinking about how to make her sister confess to her love interest. And the childish demon is just cleaning a room that she had messed up during making her painting, while the quite scary demon is keeping watch over the childish demon, making sure that she does her job properly. While they were doing their things, they suddenly couldn't sense the great storm dragon, Velzard-Tempest. It's like he has disappeared from the world, or like he has died. Velzard, is it just me, or can you also not sense Velzard? It's like he has disappeared from the world or died, the red demon asked the mature lady, now known as Velzard. Yes, I can't sense him either, Guy, but I am sure that he didn't die because we true dragons are immortal beings, an abstract existence, and it is impossible for us to be killed completely. We can be killed, but only temporarily, and even if that's the case, there are only a few beings who can harm him. Besides, he is with Rimuru, so Velzard is alive for sure, Velzard replied to the red demon. If that's the case, then he must be hiding or erasing his presence. Or it must be Rimuru's doing, Guy, now known as Guy, said. Yeah, knowing Rimuru, he might have planned something. I bet it will be fun, Rain commented, and she started to giggle while coming from the other room, followed by Miss Airy. Actually, when it comes to Rimuru, they are talking about Rimuru. Rain and Miss Airy are not restricted by anything, and they can comment without feeling scared of Guy. It's because Rimuru made sure, threatened Guy, that at least whenever his topic comes up, all primordials remain equal and are not bound by their master-servant relationship. However, it is a completely different thing about Diablo because he is an oddball among them, so they let him act however he wants. At some point, even Rimuru stopped telling him that he didn't need to show him this much respect, and from that time on, Rimuru also didn't tell his other subordinates to act normal around him and let them be themselves. It's because he understood that his subordinates are different from others, and when it comes to showing him respect, they are not going to listen to anyone, not even him. Yeah, you might be right. Now that I think about it, if he is involved in it, then Veldor's disappearance makes sense, Velzard commented on Rain's thoughts. Interesting Guy was saying something, but he suddenly stopped. No, not only he, but all of the people in the room stopped, and all of them dropped to the ground, kneeling, getting crushed by the overwhelming pressure. Whoa, is this? I recognize this presence. It's Rimuru's. Miss Airy muttered, struggling to bring her voice out. And as she said that, all of them nodded, still struggling. Ha 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 ha, this is truly interesting. Ha ha ha, what are you planning, Rimuru? I can feel the changes that are going to happen in the future. So interesting. Ha ha ha, Guy said, his speech punctuated by gasps and strained breaths yet filled with excitement. He wasn't struggling to speak as much as Misery, but there was still some difficulty. Yes, you are right, Guy. I think our future will be interesting, Velzard said, with as much difficulty as Guy. I can't wait to see. Guy was going to say more, but he stopped because of the announcement. The arrival of the Supreme Deity has been confirmed. Welcome back, my lord. All of them suddenly heard the announcement of the voice of the world. This only made it obvious to them that this pressure and this presence are Rimuru's. Ha ha ha, gasp. This is gasp. This con confirms that this frigid breath is Rimuru's doing. Is he, trying to put the world into chaos? But certainly, this gasp is interesting. Guy said it in full excitement. While this is going on the ice continent, in the Eastern Empire, people have different thoughts from each other. Location. Eastern Empire. In the Eastern Empire, we can see many people present, but one of them is exceptionally strong for a human. A human who can rival one of the 4 true dragons despite being in a weakened state. This person's power is such that they can effortlessly shatter stars and planets with a mere flick of their wrist. This individual is none other than the emperor of this empire, known far and wide as Rudranamal Nazca, also referred to as the hero of the beginning. Note. Guys, Rudra is also stronger than his canon self. As they were going about their activities, suddenly the presence of the great storm dragon Veldor vanished, and they felt it. No one spoke in person, but all of them had different thoughts. With Velgrynd. Veldor. His presence disappeared. How? No, what happened? Is he hiding his presence? Or did he get killed somehow? No, that's not possible. As long as Rimuru is alive, we can't die, no matter what. Then what is happening? Wait, is this one of Rimuru's schemes? Is he trying to do something? Well, I will know in time, so there's no point in thinking about it now. Instead, I should focus on how to make her confess to him. Also, I need to visit Rimuru soon because it has been too long since I last saw him. The second mature beauty, Velgrynd, who is also the third, fourth oldest true dragon, known for her fiery strength and cunning mind, was deep in thought. Velgrynd, with her dazzling azure blue hair and commanding presence, was not easily rattled. Her mind raced with different possibilities, exceeding the speed of light by far. As a being of immense power, capable of decimating regions with a mere thought, she was unaccustomed to feeling uncertain. Her instincts were always on point, and now she was getting some serious bad vibes. Her instincts were telling her exactly that. Despite this, the sudden disappearance of her beloved brother, Veldor, had unsettled her. Her thoughts turned towards Rimuru, an entity whose existence knows no bounds yet remains a simple being. She wondered if this disappearance was part of one of his elaborate plans. Rimuru, known for his strategic brilliance and unpredictable moves, could very well be planning something beyond her understanding, which in this case is rather true. Her instincts are right on this point. While she was deep in thought, she suddenly stopped and dropped to the ground, kneeling and getting crushed by the pressure. No, she had not stopped on her own. She stopped because of the overwhelming pressure that had descended upon her. This presence. This is Rimuru's presence. What is happening? Why did he suddenly make his presence known? As she recognized her presence, her thoughts got thrown into chaos. But then she heard something that made her more confused, and that is, the arrival of the supreme deity has been confirmed. Welcome back, my lord. As she heard the announcement made by the voice of the world, her head, which was already in chaos, was thrown into more chaos. Now I am 100% sure that this is Rimuru. What is happening? She started to work her mind to its fullest, but still, she wasn't able to find any answers. After thinking for some time, she gave up, saying she couldn't predict what Rimuru was thinking. Urdurnamal Nazca. Urdurnamal Nazca, known as the hero of the beginning, is the emperor of the Nazca Namria Mulmeria United Eastern Empire, commonly known as the Eastern Empire. Urdur is a legendary figure, famed for being the first human to achieve power on par with the true dragons. His strength is unparalleled among humans, and his abilities are said to rival those of the mightiest beings in existence. As emperor, he has led the Eastern Empire with a combination of wisdom and unmatched power, earning the respect and fear of both allies and enemies alike. Under Urdur's rule, the Eastern Empire has thrived, expanding its territories and influence. He has secured numerous victories and established a powerful, unified state that dominates the eastern part of the world. Despite his immense power, Urdur is also known for his strategic brilliance, and his ability to inspire loyalty and dedication among his subjects. His leadership has made the Eastern Empire a dominant force. Urdur possesses untapped potential, remarkable talent, and the capabilities to become even stronger and surpass his current or prime self. However, due to a being that resides within him weakening his soul and causing it to collapse and shatter into pieces, he has been severely debilitated. This internal struggle has significantly weakened him, reducing him to his current state. Despite his current limitations, Urdur has the capacity to surpass even Chloe Albert, the strongest human in history. Chloe's strength rivals that of the fourth true dragon, the Ice Empress. Velzard, the primordial red. Guy Crimson, and the primordial black. Diablo. Chloe is strong because she honed her skills for an unimaginable amount of time during her countless time loops. Additionally, she is the holder of a God Series ultimate skill, while Urdur doesn't have any of Chloe's advantages. Urdur was an average high human who evolved into a true hero under the guidance of the first true dragon, Veldanava. He only has an ultimate skill, but not a God Series ultimate skill. Furthermore, even his own skill doesn't recognize him as its master, and he certainly hasn't honed his skills for an unimaginable amount of time like Chloe. If Urdur had the opportunity to hone his skills over such an extensive period of time, and evolve his ultimate skill into a God Series ultimate skill, then it is 100% certain that he will surpass Chloe. But still, with just an ultimate skill and becoming a true hero, Urdur managed to attain strength comparable to that of the strongest entities like Velzard, Primordial Demon Guy Crimson, and Primordial Demon Diablo. Even in his weakened state, he maintains considerable strength despite relinquishing his original ultimate skill in exchange for another that does not acknowledge him as its master. Despite these setbacks, he still remains on par with one of the true dragons, the Scorch Empress Velgrynd. So, this alone is proof enough of how much potential and talent he has. Truly, the title the hero of the beginning suits him very well. It's as if this title was specially made for him. And this person, Urdurnamal Nazca, currently sits on his throne, exuding his majestic appearance and charisma to the world, while contemplating how to defeat his rival, the second demon lord Guy Crimson. While thinking this, he suddenly cannot sense the great storm dragon Velzard-Tempest anymore, as if he has disappeared from the world. Because of Veldor's sudden disappearance, Urdur had a thought that could make him the victor in the game between him and Guy Crimson. And that thought is, the storm dragon has disappeared, huh? Well, this could be a great opportunity to start invading the west. Also, I can claim all of the Jura force for myself too. Yes, this is a good opportunity. I should order my men to prepare our forces. Urdur was thinking along these lines when he suddenly fell to the ground, kneeling, getting crushed by the immense pressure. Whoa, what is this? What kind of presence is this? It's even greater than Sensei. Whoever this person is, he is a monster. Urdur was thinking along these lines when he suddenly heard something that made him pause and seriously think for a moment. What he heard was, the arrival of the supreme deity has been confirmed. Welcome back, my lord. He heard the announcement made by the voice of the world. Is that Sensei? Has Sensei returned? Does that also mean that sister has returned? How should I show them my face after abandoning Milm like that? I am no longer worthy to present myself to them. But even if that's the case, why didn't he come earlier? Well, now it doesn't matter if Sensei has come or not because I will proceed with my plan no matter what. After hearing the announcement, Urdur thought for a moment. He considered the possibility that his deceased sensei and sister might be back, and this thought filled him with happiness. It is true that his pride is greater than that of the person who represents pride. But still, he loved his sister and his sensei. He still regrets that he wasn't able to take his niece. It's not like he didn't try. It's just that when he went to retrieve her after her rampage, at that time she was with the demon lord Guy Crimson, his rival. In front of him, he couldn't show his softer side, so that's why he acted arrogantly. Also, the presence of that mysterious person didn't make the situation in his favor, so with reluctance, he let her stay there, thinking it would be best for her. And it turns out that his decision was right. But he still regrets not taking her with him that day. Right now, Rudder's emotions are mixed and conflicted as he contemplates the return of his deceased sensei and sister. While he feels a sense of happiness at the prospect of their return, he also holds feelings of unworthiness due to his past actions, particularly regarding milf. However, his determination and his will to proceed with his plan are ironclad and unwavering. Regardless of the circumstances, he will proceed with his plan. Note: even in the LN, Fuse tried to portray Rudra as a bad guy, but I still like him because he is not acting with any malicious intent. He was just trying to finish his game before he died. Also, his character is good, and that's why I like him. So I am going to make him arrogant and proud, but also a good person at heart. While Rudra was contemplating these matters, unaware of them, the manas, the ultimate existence that resides within him, was thinking entirely differently. Rudra is unaware of Michael becoming a manas, but he knows that just as king, Michael has his own will, and he didn't accept him as his master, so he won't be able to bring out its full potential. But still, Rudra is a very strong-willed person. His will is so strong that even when his soul is weakened, his will is strong enough that the manas inside him isn't capable of taking control of his body as of right now, and it's waiting for his soul to weaken a little more. The manas is an ultimate existence itself, and amongst manas, the weakest manas are as strong as true dragons. This alone is enough proof that his will is stronger than even the likes of the true dragons, except Rimuru and Veldanava. With manas, Michael. While Rudra was lost in his own thoughts, the skull that had awakened its own consciousness and transformed into a manas, now known as manas, Michael, was having its own thoughts. Originally, Michael was an ultimate skill and one of the earlier skills created by the creator of the world, the god Veldanava. As a result, it acknowledges only Veldanava as its master and rejects any other authority. It was all fine until Veldanava traded his skill with Rudra in exchange for Uriel. From that time on, Michael started to develop his own will, craving to be back with Veldanava again. When Veldanava died, Michael's will began to develop an ego on its own. But everything changed almost 18,000 years later, after Veldanava's death. Just as king, Michael, an ultimate skill, developed its own ego. It wasn't strong enough to become a complete ultimate existence, a manas, but it was strong enough to think for itself now. It was like Raphael, Michael can think independently, make decisions, and act on his own volition, just as Raphael acts for the sake of Rimuru. However, Michael considers Veldanava his master and is attempting to resurrect him. But at that time, he was not a complete manas like Ciel. We can consider him a pseudo-manas or something similar. Note: even as a pseudo-manas, Michael possesses the same strength and intelligence as his canonical counterpart. In essence, he is an exact replica of his original self. From that time on, Michael began to make plans to resurrect Veldanava. As he formulated his plans, he made contact with Feldway, and from that point on, they have been working together to devise a plan to bring Veldanava back to life. He contacted Feldway because, as his ego grew strong enough to think and make decisions, he began to formulate plans. After creating a plan, he tried to take control of Rudra's body in order to accomplish his goals, but he utterly failed. His failure was due to Rudra's extraordinarily strong will, which was so potent that he couldn't even dominate his consciousness, mind, or soul for a single moment, let alone take control of his body. So that's why he contacted Feldway and waited some more time. Eventually, when Rudra's will became weak enough, he would be able to take control over his body. However, it was only for a brief period, like 5-10 minutes, that he met Feldway face to face. They became friends, and from that day on, they have been in touch, devising plans for Veldanava's resurrection. And even after becoming a complete manas, an ultimate existence, he is still incapable of taking complete control of Rudra's body, and is waiting for his soul to weaken further. While he was revising his plan, he suddenly couldn't sense the great storm dragon, Velzard-Tempest, anymore. This new development gave rise to some new problems in his plan, leading him to change his plans and thoughts. And they are: so the storm dragon has disappeared, huh? I knew he was in the Jura forest after his fight in Riberios, so he must have perished today. Well, this is a problem. Because of this new development, I need to change my plans. Should I talk with Feldway about this? While Michael was having these thoughts, he suddenly felt immense and overwhelming pressure enough to make him, even within Rudra's body, feel threatened, as if he could die at any moment. It was as if he were in the presence of someone incomprehensible and mighty being, a supreme entity. He felt so insignificant that he seemed like a non-existent entity, and chills ran down his non-existent spine. He felt fear for the very first time. This intensified his confusion because Michael, as a monas, is an existence with its own will and ego, but cannot comprehend emotions. An existence that acts on rational thoughts. The emotion of fear is new to him, causing his thoughts to go haywire. What is this presence? Who does it belong to? Who is this strong? And what am I feeling? Is this fear? What are emotions? Why do emotions exist? Am I feeling emotions? Is it possible for me to feel emotions? Why is this so confusing? Oh, my lord, please guide me. These were Michael's thoughts. He pondered emotions for a while, but couldn't wrap his head around this phenomenon. So, in the end, he asked his master, his lord Valdonava, to guide him on this perplexing matter. While he was preoccupied with thinking about emotions, he heard something that completely overwhelmed his mind, and made him reconsider everything he had been planning up until that moment. The thing that he heard was, "The arrival of the supreme deity has been confirmed. Welcome back, my lord." Whoa, what is this? Who is this? Is it my lord? No, it can't be possible. If my lord could come, then why didn't they come earlier? This must be an impostor, but regardless of who it is, it doesn't change our goal. We will accomplish our goal. However, this person's presence changes everything. I need to change the plan. I should also inform Feldway to prepare for that. With it, no one will be able to get in the way of our goal. These were Michael's thoughts. While he was having these thoughts, his ally and friend, Feldway, was also pondering similar thoughts. Location. Iverage's sealed dimension. In one of the countless dimensions, there exists a dimension where the creator of this world has sealed one of the strongest beings. This dimension is known as Iverage's sealed dimension. Currently, in this dimension, only 2 beings are present, but these 2 beings are some of the strongest in the tensura world. They are the world-destroying dragon, Iverage, and one of the earliest creations of the creator, also known as the first primordial angel, the Phantom King, Feldway. Iverage is in a deep slumber, patiently waiting for his seal to break. Meanwhile, Feldway is keeping watch over Iverage and simultaneously contemplating the plan he and Michael had devised. Veldora had already concealed his presence, but Feldway is still unaware of this because he cannot sense Veldora from this dimension. While deep in thought, Feldway suddenly felt immense and overwhelming pressure that brought him to the ground. He struggled to remain on his knees, crushed by the immense pressure. If Feldway were in his true body, the one given to him by Valdonava, he wouldn't have struggled as much, because with his true body, his power reaches new levels. When he is in his true body, his power and fighting prowess even surpass the likes of Demon Lord Guy, True Dragons, and the Spear Queen, even if they give their all. However, even if he were in his true body, he would still be on his knees because the pressure is too overwhelming for him, even in his true body. However, the mysterious pressure and this presence made him reconsider the plan he and Michael had come up with, as the presence of this person could potentially hinder their entire plan. This situation is causing his thoughts to become chaotic, and right now, his thoughts are, what is happening here? Why am I struggling to even stay on my knees? What is this pressure? What kind of presence is this? Who is this person? How is he so powerful? How are we unaware of his existence until now? This is not good, his presence may hinder our plan. I need to talk with Michael Sama now. While he was thinking about this, he suddenly felt an intense aura. However, this new pressure paled in comparison to the overwhelming force emitted by the mysterious figure. Despite its lesser intensity, this aura worsened his situation. As it grew stronger, he found himself pinned to the ground, as if someone had glued him in place, unable to move even a muscle. So, in order to see where this aura was coming from, he mustered all the strength he had and looked upward toward the direction of Iverage, because the aura was coming from that direction. What he saw astonished him, it stunned him. The world-destroying dragon. Iverage, who had been in slumber for millions of years, was wide awake. Iverage stared intensely in one direction, radiating full fury and killing intent, all the while releasing his aura. Right now, Iverage is awakened from his long slumber because of the familiar presence he sensed years ago. It was the same presence of a being that had killed him multiple times. Although Iverage is a mindless being with no intelligence whatsoever, he can still remember some things. Over the passage of time, he has gradually developed his own sense of self, his own ego, just as Valdonava had thought he would. His ego is still weak, to the point that he can only remember a few things, such as his meeting with Valdonava, his thirst for destruction, and the presence of the being who had killed him multiple times. When he sensed the familiar presence, he awoke from his slumber. Because he had been in his slumber for millions of years, his thirst for destruction only increased during that time. This presence reminded him of the person who had killed him multiple times, intensifying his anger and thirst for destruction even further. And in this state of anger, he uttered his first few words. "I'll kill you and destroy this world." He didn't say it aloud because, at the moment, he can only think and cannot speak. However, his anger only served to strengthen his ego and accelerate its development. Given time, it is guaranteed that his ego will fully develop. While this was happening with Ivorage, Feldway was completely stunned by seeing Ivorage like this. After millions of years of slumber, this was the first time Ivorage had awakened, and right after awakening, he is showing this much hostility towards this mysterious person. This reaction left Feldway more wary of this individual. While Feldway was stunned, he heard an announcement that made him almost lose his mind, and that announcement is: the arrival of the Supreme Deity has been confirmed. Welcome back, my lord. What is happening? Why did the voice of the world suddenly make this announcement? Has my lord returned? No, this is not the case because I cannot feel my lord. Is this some imposter? Yes, definitely, he is an imposter. But then, how did the voice of the world make this announcement? It doesn't matter because we will proceed with our plan no matter what happens. But I should talk with Michael-sama, and I should also prepare that thing because, with that thing, our plan will surely work. Yes, I should do that. These were Feldway's thoughts after hearing the announcement made by the voice of the world. Now I can see why they are best friends. While this was happening throughout the world and people were having different kinds of reactions, one lazy bastard was ignoring everything and trying to sleep. This bastard was already fast asleep in his bed when Veldora hid his presence, and it didn't affect him in the slightest. When Rimuru made his presence known, this bastard felt it and fell from his bed due to the pressure, but it didn't wake him, and he continued to sleep. And when the voice of the world made an announcement, he awoke and heard it, but still he pretended that nothing had happened, and he didn't hear anything. He even pretended that he was not feeling anything, and continued to pretend that he was sleeping, and soon he fell back asleep too. Truly a lazy bastard. No, not a normal average lazy bastard, he is a supreme lazy bastard. While this bastard is fast asleep, Rimuru is done with his fun. Location: Jura Force. Rimuru Pov. That is enough for today, I think. It was fun seeing all of their reactions, but it's such a shame that I am unable to continue. If I continue any longer, I don't think they can handle it. I have already decreased the effect by almost 90 times, and still, they are in this state. I don't think they can take it anymore. Well, let's erase our presence again, or else no one will be able to stand again. Ha, that's done. Now, let's go visit him. Ciel. On it, master. Wait. What, master? Come outside in your body. I don't want you to be in our souls when we visit him. I want you to be with me. We will visit him like this. Is it necessary, master? Yes, it is completely necessary. And I want this. Okay. We will do it just as you want. Happy. B. Okay, here we go. We are coming to meet you, my other variant. Chapter 42. Goblins under command. Rimuru Pov. Well, that trip was interesting, and his reaction was priceless. I still start to laugh, remembering his reaction. Hahaha. Well, putting that aside, I think it's time to start the real work. Okay, so the first step is making goblins my subordinates and becoming their leader. But first, Ciel. Yes, master. I want to tell you something, but before that, come outside in your body. Okay? As I instructed her to come out of our souls and inhabit her body once again, she did so precisely. Soon, a portal opened, and she emerged from it like a goddess descending from heaven. Yes, master. What do you want to say? She asked me as she stepped out of the portal, which then disappeared. Well, the thing is, I want you to be with me during my journey of making our kingdom, I told her, and she seemed a bit confused. What do you mean, master? Aren't we always together everywhere we go? She asked me in a confused voice, tilting her head to one side. How cute. I absolutely need to record this. Rewind time. Time rewinded. Well, the thing is, I want you to be with me during my journey of making our kingdom, I told her again, but this time she just looked at me flatly. Sigh. Seriously, master, why did you rewind time? Sigh, she asked me, sighing. How could I forget that we are equals? Nothing affects her, just like me. How could I forget that? Is it because I was blinded by Ciel's cuteness? Yes, definitely, that's the case. I need to do something before my brain shuts down because of her charm and cuteness. Well, amido, hahaha, I guess I accidentally did that. Hahaha, I said awkwardly, laughing. I bet that she is totally not convinced. And yes, she is not convinced. Don't lie to me, master. You know that we can't lie to each other, right? Yep, she got me there. Guess what? It seems that I don't have any choice but to spill the beans. Sigh. I just wanted to record you when you were looking so cute, I gave up and told her. You wasted time just for that. Sigh. You really are a child, huh? She said, smiling, I guess. You do know that you can record it again because we are always together, right? She continued, all the while smiling. How could I forget that? Really, her cuteness is making my brain shut down. And her smile, it's illegal. See, I can tell just by looking at you that you didn't think of that. How childish you are. But I like that part of you the most, so it's fine. Also, you are looking so cute right now, she said after looking at my dumbstruck face. Then she looked at me and said, Swooch. She snuck a kiss on me. It's unfair. Totally unfair. Why is she always able to sneak kisses on me, and I can't? It's because I love you more than you love me, she said, as if reading my mind. How did you know what I was thinking? I asked her. It's because we are one and inseparable, silly, she said. Switch. And once again, she snuck a kiss on me. Sly woman. But she's my sly woman, after all, so it's fine. But still, you didn't tell me what you meant by I need to be with you. Aren't we always together? She said, reminding me why we were having this conversation in the first place. Stay focused, Rimuru. Stay focused. Rimuru, you can have your time with her at night, but right now, you have a task at hand. About that, what I mean is that I want you to be with me in person during our whole journey of making our kingdom, not just in our souls. I finally told her the reason behind bringing her outside of our souls. It's fine, but is there any specific reason behind this? She asked, wanting to know the real reason behind my decision. Well, the real reason is that I want my queen to be with me when I build my kingdom. I finally told her my reason. If you want, then it's fine. I will stay in person with you during our whole journey, she finally agreed. Yeah. I said in happiness. Haha, you are so cute when you do your little victory dance. Haha, she said, giggling. Hey, I am not dancing. It's just that my body moves on its own. I said it to her in a childish way, I think. Actually, I, unaware of myself, started doing my little victory dance, which I sometimes do when I win an argument with Ciel. So far, I've only won twice. Only twice, and she always wins. Sad Rimuru. There, master. I'm sure that when you grow up, you will win, she said, patting my back. Really? I don't know why, but I asked her. Yes, really, she said to me. Wait, did she just again call me a child and immature? No, it was just your imagination, she said to me. Now I am totally sure that she did. Anyway, just forget about that, and let's focus on our goal. Well, everything aside, I think it's time for us to get going and start to make our kingdom, I said to her, as I dusted off all the immaturity that I was showing. Yes, we need to start our work, she also agreed with me. Okay, then let's go, I said. As I looked in the direction of the goblin village, that should be where my other variant started his journey. With Ciel's hand in mine and our fingers intertwined, we started to head towards the village. After almost 20 minutes of walking, we are near the goblin village, and I can sense them from here. There are not too many of them, there are almost 100 goblins, and some of them are separated from their group and have gone into the forest. Wait, they are coming in our direction. I am sure that they are not coming towards us because we have erased our presence completely, and leaking any type of aura or energy is already out of the question. So most likely, they are just passing by in this direction, and we just happen to go this way. Yes, master, that is the case, Ciel answered my unasked question. Well, it's a good thing because this way we will be able to establish our first meeting smoothly. Also, in this way, we will be able to start our journey as it should be. I don't care if from now on everything goes differently or the same as my variant's timelines. I will do as I please. If I want, then I will change the events, but I will make sure that even if I do, I take all of my subordinates as they should be, like how I took Zijin and Apido. It doesn't matter if the events are changed, the only thing that matters is that, in the end, I have all of them as my subordinates, and they are living a good and happy life. But still, even if I change the events in the future, I want the start to remain the same. So their coming here is a good thing in a way. Ciel, is there any way to make them notice us like they notice my other variants? I don't want to make our presence known or release any type of energy. I'm not in the mood for causing havoc in the world, I asked her. I asked her this because, like my other variants, if we release our aura, even if it's just a tiny fraction of it, it will start to destroy things, and people who are weaker than true dragons will die immediately being in my aura, even if they are awakened people like true demon lords or true heroes. Personally, I don't care about such trivial things because I can just restore them to their original state, but now I'm not in the mood for doing that. Actually, right now, I have sealed my omnipotence too. Initially, I only sealed my omnipresence and omniscience, not my omnipotence. However, during my fight with Velzard and Velgrynd, I sealed it. But even after sealing it, I didn't become even a fraction weaker than when I hadn't sealed my omnipotence. I know that sealing omnipotence is impossible, and no one can do it. For example, Veldanava wanted it, and even the author of the story desired to seal it, but it remains beyond their reach, whether they are fictional characters like Veldanava or real individuals like the author readers. But I'm different. To me, omnipotence is merely a term. In the face of my power, it's inconsequential. It is nothing but a simple word. I am even above concepts such as omnipotence, omnipresence, and omniscience. Such trivial things don't matter to me because my power exceeds them. By sealing my omnipotence, I lowered my presence to a degree that lower beings, such as people from the tensura world, can withstand when I make my presence known. By sealing my omnipotence, I am able to lower my existence because I use omnipotence, omnipresence, and omniscience as a medium to regulate my power. This allows me to stay in lower worlds such as the tensura world and the fiction world. And yes, I have visited the fiction world more than once. To explain this, imagine an infinite sea representing my power. If we consider concepts such as omnipotence, omnipresence, and omniscience as a funnel, then I am using this funnel between my power and the lower worlds. By doing so, I can lower my existence. This funnel's size is comparable to that of an average bacterium 2 micrometers, 1/4 m, millionths of a meter long and 0.514 m in diameter, while my power is the infinite sea. Thus, even with the funnel, I still have access to my power, but for the world, it will be like a small hole on one side of the funnel. By sealing my omnipotence, omnipresence, and omniscience, I have made the size of the hole in the funnel even smaller. It's like putting a protective wall between my power and the world, so they won't get obliterated by it. I have access to both sides. In other words, I have my power and can still interact with the lower worlds and their people. I did this because, even if I am in my avatar, which doesn't even have a fraction of my power compared to when I am in my true body, I am still stronger than anyone from the fiction and tensura worlds. If I let that power run rampant without any restraint, these worlds would end. I don't want that because these worlds are a medium to cure my boredom. Beings like myself and those who are powerful like Veldanava, we don't give a damn two fucks about worlds of the peace, conflict, and destruction within them. We only care about curing our boredom. And if the destruction of the world can cure our boredom, so be it. The destruction of the world doesn't affect us, and if saving the world will cure our boredom, so be it, we will save the world. As long as it cures our boredom, we will do it. I use my avatar because I want to enter the fiction and fantasy worlds to cure my boredom. I am too powerful in my true body to enter any world. In my avatar, I lower my presence and power to a degree that allows me to enter the tensura world and the fiction world. Even if we see these worlds as a medium to cure our boredom, we still love people from these worlds. I care deeply about Eldor, Shizue, Velzard, Velgrynd, and others who are close to me. In the case of Veldanava, his family matters to him as well. So, even if we see these worlds as nothing but a way to cure our boredom, we can't let them get destroyed. If that happened, the people we care about would die, and we don't want that. So that's why I use my avatar to stay here. This way, I can cure my boredom while staying with the people I care about. Now, you may say that from my previous statements, I am contradicting myself, so let me rephrase it a little. Despite using these worlds as a means to cure my boredom, my affection and love for some individuals are genuine. Therefore, by utilizing my avatar, I can fulfill my personal desires, while also maintaining meaningful connections with those I cherish. However, if, in the process of doing this, I become too bored and the destruction of the world can cure my boredom, then I let the world be destroyed and save the people who are important to me. Master, are you breaking the fourth wall again? Ciel asked me. Well, you see, I need to inform the people who are reading this story about what's going on and what I did. It's not something I did on my own, rather, it's orchestrated by that evil author. Yes, it's the author's doing. Totally, it's the author's doing, I explained to her in a hurried voice. Well, that's a lie, obviously, because the author is long gone. I mean, he's with Azathoth, enduring eternal suffering for his sins, that bastard. And even if he were still around, continuing this story, it wouldn't matter because I have authority over him. I'm superior, controlling not only him but also this story. Heck, I can even control other stories, and I've already done that just for fun. One time, while playing around with other stories, I accidentally nerfed a witch from her own story. She's the strongest in her story, in her world, and the creator of her own story and world, and for fun, I made her as weak as a newborn baby. It was so hilarious that I still laugh whenever I think about it. But even if I can do all of this with just a little thought, I won't do it. Every time I mess something up, Ciel has to fix it, and afterwards, she becomes mad at me for making such a mess. So, I won't do that because I don't want an angry Ciel. Once Veldora asked me why I seemed scared of an angry version of Ciel, and the answer to his question was simple. I didn't live through the void just to die on the sofa. Well, he didn't understand what I said, but I'm sure he will understand when he gets married. All my fellow husbands have my sympathy, and we should do something about all the sofas in their entire existence. Ha, I know what to do. I will just erase the concept of the sofa from its entire existence, so in this way, there will be no sofa, and my fellow husbands' problems will be solved. Yes, I will do that, but before that, I need to make sure that Ciel won't find out about it. I don't buy it because I know that we are superior and stronger than the author, and we can control him, this story, and other stories. But for this once, I'll let this go and fix the fourth wall, she said, fixing the fourth wall. Phew, now I don't need to die on the sofa. Well, to answer your previous question, Master, about how we should make contact with them, we can just make this reality feel like they sensed our aura and came towards us. Like how it happened in our other variants timeline, she answered my questions. This is a good way to do it, and in this way, we don't need to do anything too difficult to attract their attention. If I were to say so, then it's the easiest way. You're the best, Ciel. We will just do that, I complimented her. And now she is blushing. How cute. You can praise me more, Master, she timidly said, still blushing. I think I should give her more compliments so I can see her like this more. While I was thinking, she made some changes, and now I can sense that the goblins are heading towards us. They seem scared out of their minds. We are here, Master, Ciel said, and we stopped. In a few moments, some goblins appeared. It was a group of 25-30 human-like monsters with small bodies and crude equipment. Covered in a thin layer of dirt, their expressions lacked intelligence, though they weren't completely barbaric. Some of them carried swords, spears, and stone axes. Many of their swords were rusted, and their armor was thin. Some had stitched together rotting cloth for protection. As we observed them, one of the goblins stepped forward, likely the leader, and opened his mouth to speak. Duga. A strong one, do you have any business up ahead? The goblin who stepped forward asked. At least they have some intelligence. It seems they are scared of us, showing us respect. Good, good. Should I say, pleasure to meet you. Well anyway, I am Rimuru-tempest, and she is Ciel-tempest, my wife. I introduced both of us. Is there any specific reason that you came towards us? I asked them, acting like I was oblivious to the current situation. As I talked, a few of the goblins ran away. Duga. A strong one, we just felt a strong monster nearby, so we came here to see it, the previous goblin said. I see. Well, we are just passing by, nothing more, nothing less, I said to them. Right now, Ciel and I are sitting in one of the goblins' huts. Actually, after meeting and talking with them, they invited us to their village, which was exactly what we needed. So here we are, sitting in one of their huts, waiting for the goblin who brought us here to fetch their chief. I think they are here. We apologize for making you wait, honored guests, a goblin said while entering the hut. This goblin seemed to be the leader of all the goblins in this village. His demeanor was more pompous than the others, and there was a certain respectfulness in his tone. Don't mind it. We haven't been waiting that long, I reassured them, trying to ease their obvious nervousness. We humbly apologize for the inability to provide better accommodations. I currently have the pleasure of serving as this village's chief, the goblin, now identified as the chief, said to us. Another goblin brought some tea for us. I have to admit, I'm a bit surprised that they can make tea. It's a simple gesture, but it shows a level of hospitality and culture I wasn't expecting from such a primitive-looking village. Still, I'm not going to drink that. As I looked at the chief, I could sense his anxiety and hopefulness. These goblins are clearly struggling, and they're probably looking to us for some sort of help or protection. While I was lost in thought, Ciel was quietly observing everything, her presence calming yet authoritative. It's moments like these that remind me why having her by my side is invaluable. Thank you for the tea, I said politely, even though I had no intention of drinking it. We appreciate your hospitality. Now, how can we assist you? I continued. Well, there's no need to apologize or anything. But why do you all seem so beaten up? Did something happen here? I asked, feigning ignorance. It's because our god has disappeared. It was 90 days ago. 90 days ago, our god disappeared, and with him, his divine protection too. Since then, direwolves have started attacking us. Half of our villagers have already died, he said, tears streaming down his face. These people are going to be my subordinates in the future, and now he's crying in front of me. How pitiful. Did they seriously consider Velzard their god? That good-for-nothing, attack-a-dragon, that idiot lizard. The irony of the situation is almost laughable. And currently, how many of your people are here? And how many of you can fight? I asked him. I needed to know this because they were going to be my subordinates, and if they were going to be my subordinates, they needed to be strong. I couldn't let my subordinates live in such dire conditions. We have a total of 100 people. If we include the females, we have 60 people who can fight, he said after doing some quick math. Are they even capable of doing math? 60, huh? And do you know how many direwolves there are? I asked him. If I wanted, I could find out easily, but I wanted to see how much talent they had. There are almost 60 direwolves, and it takes 10 of us to defeat one direwolf, he said to me. Well, the numbers match perfectly, but their attack potential doesn't. Oh, strong one, could you please help us? The leader abruptly asked, kneeling or bowing, which I couldn't quite tell since his whole body was almost touching the ground. What will I get in return for helping you? I asked, curious about their offer. I could easily make them submit to me by using force, but I wanted them to make the choice themselves. We will offer you our utmost and eternal loyalty, my lord, he declared, and all of them kneeled in front of us. Yeah, everything is according to plan. They chose to swear their loyalty to me by themselves, not me making them swear. Master, you know, nowadays you are starting to act like an evil person, Ciel said to me directly through our minds. Ciel, I swear that I didn't do anything evil. You are here all the time, and you saw that they swore their loyalty to themselves. Yes, I know, master. But don't worry, I love this side of yours. She said and became silent. What's with that response? Well, I do admit that I manipulated them in a way by creating the situation where they have only one choice to get any kind of help from me, and that choice is to swear their loyalty to me. But hey, who's going to stop me anyway? I can do what I want. If you are that desperate, then I will accept you as one of my subordinates and help you, I declared. And now they are jumping around happily. That's enough, guys. Now you are my subordinates, so let's prepare to fight the direwolves, I said to them. The second step is complete. Now the third step. Defeating the direwolves and taking them as my subordinates. Chapter 43. Taming the direwolves. Well, now we are here outside the goblin village, looking over the direwolves in front of us. Some things have happened since this afternoon. After taking the goblins under my protection, I healed all their injured men and handled other matters that were not that important. Oh, a direwolf howled. They're here, huh? Well, I guess it's time for the third step. My other variant killed Renga's father, but here I can stop him without killing him. So, should I save him or just kill him? Nah, who cares? I'll just kill him and make the others submit. He's not going to be any use to me anyway. Yeah, I'll just do that. As I am thinking this, Ciel and I arrive in front of the village entrance, where the direwolves are gathered to attack. Well, time to kill the alpha wolf. Step away, humans, or else we will have to kill you. The leader wolf said. Kill, huh? Aren't you the arrogant bastard? I replied casually, not even looking at him. I am not looking at the alpha wolf because I am currently focused on my future personal wolf, or, should I say, cute puppy. Even from here, his fur looks so fluffy. I just want to grab him and cuddle him. Ciel is also looking in the same direction. I guess we both have the same thoughts. So, you have chosen your death, huh? Prepare yourself. The leader wolf said, charging towards us in hopes of killing us. Too bad for this guy. How should I kill him? Should I just cut off his head? Or should I erase his concept? Or maybe give him to Azathoth so he can torture him? Nah, I'll just kill him. Azathoth's torture would be too much for him, even Guy can't handle that kind of torture. Father, new Renga yelled to his father. I guess he must have sensed danger. Sorry, Renga, but your father has to die. So, how should I kill him? I know, I will just cut him into 2 pieces. And there we go, clean and perfect. I just cut that wolf into 2 pieces without even moving. What I just did was manipulate the information particles in my surroundings. Through these information particles, I indirectly manipulated the wind to blow in a specific direction towards that wolf, ensuring it was cut into 2 parts. The result is the wolf being cleanly sliced into 2 perfect halves. Now, it's time for the main event. If you don't choose one of the options I'm about to give you, then you'll be next. So choose carefully. Your choices are: first, submit to me and become my subordinates, and second, don't submit and die. Choose now, because I don't have much time, I declared to them. Before I gave them their options, I opened my draconic wings because they looked cool. I can bet that now I am downright evil. Yep, an act befitting a demon lord. So cool, I always wanted to try this. You look so cool there, Master Ciel said, looking at me with stars in her eyes. I know, right? I always wanted to try this, I replied to her. Well, let's get back at the direwolves. Speak. I said it in a dominant voice while shifting my focus to the direwolves. It seemed like they discussed something among themselves using thought communication, which is their intrinsic skill. After their brief discussion, my future puppy came forward and started to speak. We submit, future Renga said. Good. Good. The third part is done. Now, I should let them rest for the night and name them tomorrow. Good. From now on, you all are my subordinates. So, for the time being, stay inside the village and don't harm anyone. And you, the chief of the goblins, show them a place where they can stay for the night. I ordered them. After ordering them and ensuring that no further conflict would arise, Ciel and I moved to a spot a little away from the village. We found a place where the moonlight was directly falling on us and sat under a tree. I sat on the ground, leaning against the tree, while Ciel sat on my lap. I think I could look at her like this for eternity. In the shining moonlight, her dazzling silvery blue hair radiates divinity, cascading like a waterfall of shimmering silk. Her vibrant and intense crimson-red eyes are the cherry on top, making her already beautiful face even more stunning. Her luscious reddish-pink lips are perfectly shaped, inviting, and captivating. Her cheeks, kissed with a delicate blush of pink, add a touch of innocence and warmth to her ethereal beauty. The silvery blue strands of her hair frame her face with enchanting elegance, creating a mesmerizing contrast with her crimson eyes. The moonlight enhances every feature, making her appear even more beautiful. All of this, illuminated by the moonlight, is just mesmerizing to me. Just seeing her like this, my heart is melting. I just want to eat her right here, right now. Wait. I am getting distracted. I need to think about what to do next. Focus, Rimuru, focus. The next step is naming them and later going to Dworgen. But before that, there is something that I need to do, and that is... Ciel, if I am right, the next thing we need to do is name all of these monsters, and later head to Dworgen. After that, Shizue will return. I asked Ciel to confirm that I was on the right track. Yes, master. But what are you planning to do with the primordials? I'm sure Diablo will gather them and be ready to return in no time. Also, we haven't even established a town yet, so it's too early for them to be our subordinates. What do you have in mind for them? She asked. Her question is valid. So what to do? What to do? Yeah, I know what to do. I'll just bring the primordials for the time being. Their subordinates and all the other demons can come later, when I bring Rammus here. Yes, that will do the job. Don't worry, honey. I am just going to bring the primordials for the time being, and others can come later. But first, we have something to do, but not here. Let's go into imaginary space, I said to her. Before she could say anything, I kissed her aggressively on the lips, and we were transported into imaginary space, right onto our bed. I couldn't hold it anymore. Time skip. One hot night later. Right now, I am sitting outside the village with Ciel on my lap. Last night was one of the most wonderful nights of my life. But it's not the time to dwell on this. Let's focus on today's work. Today's task is naming. How should I name these people? It will be too much hassle to name them one by one. Master, if we make some alterations to the voice of the world, we can add a new auto-naming function to it. With our command, it can name anyone, and for names, we can just provide the information from everyone's names in our other variants timeline, Ciel said to me. That's a good idea, and it will save us so much time too. That's settled, then, we will use this idea. Go ahead and add this function to it, I told Ciel. Okay, while I do that, you should gather everyone in one place, she said, and she began to do her thing. Even though I am this strong, I don't know how to do these kinds of things manually as fast as Ciel, like altering skills and all this stuff. I can manage these things, but compared to her, it's like a novice trying to compete with a master artisan. Her proficiency and speed are incredible. But if I became serious and focused, I could match her. However, these trivial tasks are too boring for my taste, so I don't like doing them. That's why, without Ciel, I wouldn't be able to handle a single thing related to this kind of work, like altering and evolving skills or manually adjusting the mechanisms of the voice of the world. Well, it's an entirely different thing that I can just alter the voice of the world by thinking about it or ordering it to evolve someone's skill or alter their abilities. But hey, this and doing it manually are two different things, so let's not count that. Still, I can't handle these tasks manually like Ciel can. Well, it doesn't matter if I can do it like Ciel or not because I have Ciel with me, and she won't be leaving me. We're inseparable, so it's not a problem. Heck, we haven't even let go of each other's hands since the start of our journey, not even now when she is altering the voice of the world. Of course, excluding the part when we were in our imaginary space. Well, it's time to gather everyone. Let's do this, I've always wanted to do it like this. Subjects, I called out. I always wanted to call my subordinate subjects. I bet I look cool, just like that character from the manga I read once. That character also called his subordinate subjects. I think Kaldor's Otaku disease is starting to affect me. As I called them, everyone soon gathered before me. However, it seemed that some of them were still not here yet, so I need to tell the Goblin Chief to gather the remaining people. Goblin Chief. I called out to the leader of the goblins, noticing the gaps in the assembled monsters. Yes, Lord Rimuru, he responded promptly, stepping forward with a respectful bow. Gather everyone here. I ordered, emphasizing the urgency. Yes, Lord Rimuru, he said, and he immediately began instructing the goblins to find and bring everyone to the meeting spot. I watched as he efficiently relayed the message to others. Despite their seeming lack of intelligence, they are surprisingly competent. Master, I have finished my work, and now it is possible to auto-name them, Ciel informed me, her eyes gleaming with satisfaction at a job well done. Well, considering this kind of thing is her hobby, there's nothing left for us to analyze or modify, since we already know everything. There's seriously no reason to modify anything for the past few thousand years, so modifying the voice of the world must have made her happy. I see. That's good to know, I replied, relieved that this task would now be much easier. Naming each individual one by one is too time-consuming, but that's not the main issue. The real problem is that it's too boring for my taste. So, this new function will streamline the process, making it significantly less boring. Naming is a crucial step in consolidating our group and preparing for the journey ahead. It will not only solidify their loyalty, but also strengthen their identities and bonds within our growing community, laying a solid foundation for my future nation. After receiving my reply, she nodded and leaned her head on my shoulder. Soon, we entered a comfortable silence, patiently waiting for everyone to gather. Everyone is here, Lord Rimuru. The Goblin Chief, or future Velgrynd, announced this after gathering everyone. All the goblins and direwolves are present, so now we can start giving them names. Guys, today you are gathered here because I have something in mind for you, and that is, I am going to name all of you, I announced to them, causing a heavy silence to engulf the entire village. Lord Rimuru, did you just say you're naming us? Velgrynd asked, breaking the silence. Yes, it will signify that you are my subordinates. Is there a problem with that? I replied. No, Lord Rimuru, but the consequences of naming someone. He began to express concerns about the consequences, but I cut him off. Well, I understand the consequences of naming someone, and it doesn't matter to me, so I am going to name all of you, I declared, and now they are jumping for joy. You, the leader of this village, and you, the new leader of the direwolves, also, you, and you come forward. I ordered some selected individuals to step up. Actually, even though I can auto-name them, there are still some monsters that I would like to name myself, like the chief who will be Rigurd in my puppy range, as well as that other goblin who will be named Gopta, and some other monsters. Yes, Lord Rimuru. Future Rigurd asked as the monsters I mentioned came forward. You people, I am going to name you personally, I announced to them, which made them even happier. But why is the old leader crying? Weird. You, the previous leader of this village, will be Rigurd, and your job will be managing this village, I declared, giving the name Rigurd to the former leader. You will be Rigurd and you will be Gopta. Your name will be Arena, you will be Gabichi, and you will be Gopso. I named some more selected goblins. I named these selected monsters separately because each of them showed great potential. Arena has the potential to become intelligent and make significant progress in the field of agriculture, while Gabichi shows promise as a great cook. Based on the information I gathered, these individuals excel in their respective fields. Notably, Rigurd and Gopso stand out for their potential strength. Gopso has the potential to reach at least the level of a special A-rank monster, while Rigurd shows potential to achieve A-rank status. Additionally, Rigurd also displays promising abilities in politics. Among these monsters, Gopta is a true gem. He is the most talented of all of them. He is cunning, intelligent, at times, and sharp-minded. To top it off, he had incredible luck. And the most interesting part is that he has the potential to reach the special S rank, after merging with Ranga, and becoming as strong as an awakened demon lord. He will achieve this strength once he learns how to merge with Ranga in the future, and properly control that power. Even without that ability, he can still become as strong as special A class to S class, which is almost, if not as strong as, a demon lord seed level. This class system is superior and more accurate than the ranking systems used by humans. Ramrus, Valdor, and I developed this system during our free time. It directly utilizes an individual's existence value along with their fighting prowess, making it more comprehensive and precise, compared to both the human ranking system and my other variants ranking systems. Note: this story features a different class system compared to the Tempest class system in the LN. Here, individuals ranked in the A class are stronger than those ranked in the special A class in the LN. For example, if Gopta is given a special A class rank in this story, then he is stronger than his canonical self, because this ranking system is superior to the canonical one. The only difference lies in the Tempest ranking system from the LN. The ranking system of the Free Guild remains the same in this story. If a person has an A rank according to the guild, then that person also holds an A rank in the canonical system, because both guilds' ranking systems are identical. Now that these monsters are named, it's time to name my puppy. You will be known as Ranga, and you will be my and Ciel's personal wolf. I named him and assigned his position. Ciel, I called her, and she understood what she had to do. You have been given the name the embodiment of nothingness, the ruler of void. Rimuru-tempest. The voice of the world announced each monster's name and bestowed it upon them. Soon, everyone received their names. However, the monsters named directly by me consumed more magic than those named by the voice of the world. I think it's because I named them personally and they possess greater potential than other monsters. Well, that's one thing done. Now, the next step is heading to the warden. But before that, everyone, now that each of you has received your name, you are about to undergo evolution. Take your time for 2 days, and then gather back here. But before you leave, there's an important matter to address. I instructed them with authority. The next task is establishing some rules. It's crucial to set guidelines to ensure order and maintain a healthy, prosperous village or nation. Let's proceed with setting the rules that will guide you, I announced to them. Yes, Rimuru-sama. They responded enthusiastically in unison. So, the rules are: 1. Don't attack humans unless they attack you first. If they do, then show no mercy, destroy them, crush them, and obliterate them. 2. Don't belittle other races. 3. Don't fight among ourselves. That's all. I announced the rules to everyone. As I stated the rules, they seemed a bit confused. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, I reassured them. Seeing their confusion, I encouraged them to seek clarification. Sir Rimuru. Gopta raised his hand to ask a question. Yes, Gopta. I nodded to him, signaling for him to proceed. Why can't we attack humans first? He asked. Well, his question is valid because, most of the time, when humans enter the forest, they often attack monsters without thinking. In turn, monsters also instinctively retaliate against humans whenever they encounter them, and this leads to conflict. Alright, Gopta, let me explain in more detail why there are rules regarding humans. You see, it's important not to attack humans first because they typically live in large organized societies, much like countries. If humans are provoked, they might retaliate with full force, potentially leading to a conflict where all of them might need to be eliminated for your protection. Moreover, there's another aspect to consider. In the past, I had a friend who liked humans, and out of respect for my friend, you refrain from being the ones to initiate attacks. On the other hand, if humans attack you first, it becomes a matter of self-defense. In such situations, you are fully justified in defending yourselves, and could retaliate as necessary to ensure your safety and the safety of our community. Therefore, these rules are in place not just to avoid unnecessary conflict, but also to uphold principles of self-defense and respect for other beings. Does this clarify why these rules are followed? I explained to all of them why they couldn't attack humans first. Yes, Rimuru-sama, Gopta answered me, and it seems that he understood what I said. He seems pretty sharp for a goblin. Well, I just told them half the truth. The real reason behind it is that if they attack humans and humans retaliate, and if by chance something happens to one of them, then I don't know what I will do. They are now my subordinates, they are like family to me. If they were harmed by humans, in a fit of rage, I might end up obliterating all humans in the world. And I seriously want to avoid that situation because, you know, Velda, as well as Shizue and Chloe, are humans, and that's why I made this rule. However, if humans attack them first, then there is no need to hold anything back, and there is no need to show any mercy to those pathetic creatures commonly referred to as humans. However, even if they are pathetic and the worst kind of creatures, I can't deny that there are some people who are good, gentle, kind, and caring among them, like Chloe, Shizue's students, and more people like them. Well, I could have said that Shizue is also one of them, but after her evolution into a true spirit, she can no longer be classified as human. Now, she belongs to a new and different race, or we can say she is akin to a true dragon, but without a dragon form or the dragon name. Apart from lacking one of the three intrinsic skills of true dragons, a dragon form, and having a different name, she is basically a true dragon in all aspects. Like strength, magic, existence value, and other attributes. Heck, just like us true dragons, even if she completely dies to the point where her soul shatters and her core is destroyed, she can still resurrect herself. However, I don't think that will ever happen because when she evolved into a true spirit I devoured her, similar to how I devoured true dragon siblings, and turned her into skills, just as I did with true dragon siblings. As a result, Azathoth acquired two more sub-skills. True spirit release and true spirit nucleation, which function exactly like true dragon release and true dragon nucleation. Well, let's leave that matter aside for now and focus on the task at hand. Are there any other questions? I asked them, because if they have any, then this is the right time to ask. Rimuru-sama, what do you mean by don't belittle other races and don't fight among yourselves? This time, it was Velgrynd who asked. Velgrynd, don't belittle other races means you shouldn't disrespect others, just because they're weaker or from a different race than yours. Now that you've received your name and are becoming stronger, it's crucial not to become arrogant. You mustn't think of yourselves as superior to others. If you provoke weaker races, they might grow stronger and retaliate someday, which we want to avoid. Regarding don't fight among ourselves, it's important that, despite your growing strength, we not fight or dominate each other. I want all of you to live peacefully without resorting to violence. Lastly, going forward, you will work in pairs, such as one direwolf with one goblin, forming friendships and supporting each other. Understand? I clarified these rules and expectations, emphasizing the importance of respect, peace, and cooperation among all. Yes, Sir Rimuru, they exclaimed, jumping around in joy. Well, good for them. Well, guys, I have some work to do. While I'm gone, you should rest for a while, I told them. Yes, Rimuru-sama. After receiving confirmation from them, Ciel and I started heading towards the old man. Chapter 44. Demons. Rimuru-pov. Right now, Ciel and I are heading towards our house to meet the old man. We are going to see him because we have some work for that good-for-nothing dragon. Hey bro. I called to Veldora as we entered our house. Almost immediately, Veldora came towards us, his presence as imposing as ever. Ho ho, so you've returned. He said it with an ear-to-ear grin. I can't tell if it is a statement or a question. But then I noticed something unusual. Why is his hair blue? What happened? Why are your hairs all blue? I asked, unable to understand what was going on in his empty head that made him make this bizarre change. Veldora laughed heartily, clearly pleased with my question. Kahahaha, about this, behold, now I have become a full-fledged Super Saiyan Blue. Hahaha, he announced, striking a pose and flexing his muscles as if he were a character straight out of a certain shonen anime. I sighed, realizing once again how deep his otaku tendencies ran. He must have used some type of magic to turn the color of his hair blue, as part of his obsession with one of his favorite series. Damn, a true otaku through and through. I'll just leave him as he is and won't question him anymore, or else his otaku disease might affect me. Hahaha, I see. Let's set that aside for now. I have some work for you, I told him, revealing the main reason behind our visit. As we were talking, we sat down on the chairs in the living room, making ourselves comfortable. And by we, I mean Ciel and me, because Veldora just made himself comfortable on the couch. I glanced around and noticed that Cherry's workload had increased significantly since we left. Without us around, Velzard had been making more messes for Cherries to clean up, essentially turning him into a full-time caretaker and housekeeper. The evidence of Velzard's chaos is everywhere. Scattered books and disorganized rooms. I feel somewhat bad for him. What? But I have some things to do. Velzard whined, clearly displeased at the prospect of doing work. Something to do, huh? I'm pretty sure it's reading manga or something related to what you're doing now, I said to him, narrowing my eyes. Well, no, you're wrong. It's not that. It's just, It's just that I want to learn some light magic. That's it. I am going to learn some light magic, he said. At first, it seemed like he was making an excuse, but in the end, he seemed rather convincing. Well, there's no need to worry because the work that I'm going to give you will help you learn magic, I told him. Now he's looking at me with half thankful and half arrogant eyes. I see. If you insist that much, then I think I can help you with this once, because I am the great mighty storm dragon Velzard-Tempest. He said, began showing his sunnier side while boasting about himself. Sigh, what good for nothing, overpowered dragon. So tell me, what do I have to do? Velzard questioned me after I finished boasting. Well, about that nothing much. First, I will give you something that you have to give to Rimuru. Tell her it is a gift from me. Later on, from her, you can learn whatever type of magic you want, I told him, explaining the first task. I will do that, but what about me? Where is my gift? He said, showing his childish side. I will give you something special when you complete both of the tasks that I am going to give you, I said to him. It's a hook, line, and sinker. Now that he's completely hooked on the idea of receiving something from me, he'll do the task flawlessly. Listen closely, Velzard. This is an important task. I said it to him with full seriousness. Yes, Rimuru, he responded seriously. Good. Your second task is this. After you learn magic from Rimuru, you have to go to that blondie's place, the Eastern Empire, and meet Velgrynd. Tell her that I have called for her as soon as possible. Also, instruct her to leave a parallel existence there, and ensure that no one will find out, not even that blondie hero. This way, nobody will know that she has left the Eastern Empire. Also, make sure that no one can find you either. Not a single soul should find out where you are, what you are doing, or where Velgrynd is, I told him in the most serious manner possible. I understand, Rimuru. I will do exactly as you've instructed. So, please give me the item I need to give to Rimuru, he said, asking about what he needed to deliver to Rimuru. About that, I'll give it to you. But first, we should go outside, I said, and we started heading outside. Diablo, you can come now. I called out to Diablo. As I said, the gate to the underworld appeared and opened. From that gate, 5 demons emerged. Obviously, first came Diablo. As he appeared, he kneeled before me. Behind him, the other 4 demons also kneeled. My lord, I have returned, and I have brought the individuals you ordered, he said to me. I see, good. I replied, acknowledging him before shifting my attention to the demons he had brought. He has brought the exact same people that I wanted. And it seems he had given them quite a beating too. I mean, even though Carrere, Ultima, and Testarossa are spiritual beings and lack a material body, they still have wounds on them, which could only have been caused by holy magic. And I'm pretty sure Diablo is responsible for these wounds. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. If it was necessary to make them my subordinates, so be it. I'll just leave that matter as it is. So, you 3 Testarossa, Ultima, and Carrere, do you accept to become my subordinates? I asked them because I needed to ensure their willingness to serve me. However, my voice did not match my intentions. It was cold as ice, almost threatening, instinctively making them submit to me. But considering the beating they received from Diablo, I doubted they would refuse. My threatening tone was just a cherry on top. I have informed them of your greatness, my lord, and now they wish to serve you, he said again. I am sure their decision is not due to his persuasive words, but because of the beating they received. How typical of him. But still, I never asked him. Be quiet. I never gave you permission to talk. I sternly shut down Diablo. I told him this because if I didn't, he might start bossing around my other subordinates in the future. There's a possibility that, inspired by this incident, he could claim to be my closest subordinate and start giving orders to others, even giving his own tasks to them to ensure he can remain by my side as much as possible, which is super creepy and something I don't want. I want all of them to be equals, to respect each other, and not assert superiority over one another. Also, in front of new subordinates, if he talks like this and I let it slide, it will seem like I am showing favoritism. Forgive me for my impudence. For this sin, I shall take my life, he said, ready to end his life. What a guy. Sigh, what am I going to do with him? There's no need to do that. From now on, just keep in mind, I said to him. He stopped, but the look in his eyes, no more praise, at least not now. Here I am in the middle of something. Understood, my lord. I am eternally grateful for this generosity, he said, intending to continue, but Ciel had enough of him. That's enough, Diablo. One more word, and I will send you to the underworld for 1,000 years. You wouldn't be able to meet or talk to the master during that time, she threatened him with a cold voice, and it worked pretty well. Diablo stopped dead in his tracks. He got up and stood behind us without uttering a single word. It seems the demon girls also didn't want to hear him, because as Ciel shut him up, they seemed to lighten up a little. So where was I? Ah, yes. So you three Tensura, Ultima, and Carrere, do you want to become my subordinates? I asked them again. Yes, my lord. It will be our pleasure to serve you. They said it in unison, still kneeling with their heads down. Good. So take these bodies as a medium to stay in the material world, I said, handing them the 3 bodies that I had made from Hihir King. This metal is the same metal as the exoskeleton of Sijin and Diablo's bodies that I gave him when I summoned him to the material world. We are eternally grateful for this. They exclaimed and started to inhabit the bodies. As they entered the bodies, flesh and blood vessels gradually enveloped the rainbow-colored skeletons. A transformation happened before our eyes. The ethereal forms took on substance, shaping into the delicate yet distinct features of beautiful beings. Soon after, shimmering magicules swirled around them, weaving into intricate patterns that formed garments, adorning their now covered skin in elegant attire. This transformation was not just physical but symbolic, marking their entry into the material realm with a newfound purpose and identity. As they started to shape their bodies to their preference, I quietly, without noticing anyone, infused some of my magicules into them without anyone noticing, thus enhancing their durability, and giving the demoness trio a slight boost in both magicules and physical strength. As they settled into their new bodies, their power increased tremendously. They couldn't contain their overwhelming haki, and it began to leak out, spreading through the entire forest. However, before anyone could sense it, I quickly erected a barrier around them to prevent their haki from escaping. We are honored to be given power by His Majesty, the 3 of them said, kneeling after inhabiting their bodies. Ha, His Majesty. What's with that? Well, whatever. I, the white primordial, Tensura, pledge my eternal and undying loyalty to you, my lord Rimuru-sama. Tensura elegantly declared. I, the yellow primordial, Carrere, pledge my eternal and undying loyalty to you, my lord Rimuru-sama. Following Tensura, Carrere said she was attempting to show as much courtesy as she could, but in the end, her arrogance slipped through a little. I, the violet primordial, Ultima, pledge my eternal and undying loyalty to you, my lord Rimuru-sama. Last but not least, Ultima declared her statement, carrying a hint of cuteness further accentuated by her cute little ponytail. Sometimes I wonder, is Ultima really a demon? Her eyes, my demons. I, the chaos creator, the king of all existence, Rimuru-tempest, accept you as my subordinates. I declared. Just as I declared, they received my protection, and their strength increased significantly. Actually, every being that I have named has received my divine protection, even if they are not my subordinates, like Guy. However, the protection that these 3 just received is different. This blessing will significantly increase their power and give them a boost in magic. Additionally, it makes them somewhat resistant to my haki. What I mean is that they will still feel the pressure, but less than others. It's similar to the time 20,000 years ago when I threatened Guy. I released some of my haki. At that time, despite being as strong as Guy and Velz, Diablo was not as affected by my haki as they were. He was scared and all, but it affected him less than others who don't have my blessing. After receiving this special protection, they also gained a significant boost in energy, like my other subordinates, and in some cases, they evolved. The effects vary among individuals, some experience a boost in magic, some evolve, some gain increased physical strength, or some obtain an overall boost in power. And now, here, these 3 have gained a boost in power. Girls, for the time being, you will stay with my other subordinate. There, you can do whatever you want, just don't cause too much destruction. He's quite strong, so if you wish, you can spar with him, I ordered them. Thank you, my lord Rimuru-sama. They said in unison. Cherries. I called cherries. Yes, Rimuru-sama. He approached and asked. Bring them to Zijin and inform him that these 3 girls are my new subordinates, I ordered him. Understood, he replied and began to leave, with the demoness trio following closely behind him. Now that the trio is settled, let's focus on him. So you, I said, looking towards the other demon that Diablo had brought. Why does he have so many wounds? And somehow, he seems more powerful than he should be. What happened? Diablo. I called out, and he understood the task, stepping forward to explain. He is the special one that you told me to bring here. I personally made sure that he was worthy enough to be in my lord's presence, Diablo explained to me. Ciel, did you know what Diablo did to her? I asked Ciel through our minds. I inquired because if something like this had happened, she would definitely be aware of it. Yes, master. When you instructed him to bring this specific demon to you, Diablo thought he was too weak to be in your presence. So, he decided to train him and make him stronger. I see. So, what exactly did he do? Well, master, he fought him to assess him and figure out what he needed to improve. After that, he mercilessly beat him to a pulp, even killing him several times, only to revive him and continue beating him. This process was repeated multiple times. Well, that's a rather strange way to make someone strong, but then again, every demon from the black lineage is weird in its own way. They are from Diablo's lineage, after all, so it's understandable. No wonder he went that way. But still, it's impressive that Diablo learned revival magic. No, master. Diablo did not know revival magic at that time. He asked me about the revival magic, so I taught him how to use the secret art of revival and the secret art of resurrection. With a proud face. You did a good job, Ciel. Now he is much stronger than before. So, did he gain any unique skills or something? Yes, master. Through the constant beating and fighting with Diablo, where he always loses and then Diablo kills him in the most brutal way using holy magic, he felt helpless. During these fights, he could have managed to negate or block even one of Diablo's holy magic attacks. It was through this helplessness and the overwhelming power of holy magic that his unique skill, Reverser, was born. Interesting. Tell me more about this skill. Currently, this skill has 2 sub-skills. Thought acceleration and inverted fusion. Inverted fusion allows him to create and fuse opposing natures into a new and contradictory form. If he uses this ability properly, he can fuse his demonic essence with angelic essence, creating something beyond an angel or demon. That's one heck of an ability. Indeed, if used properly with full efficiency, it is a useful and powerful ability. Okay, then whenever he meets the requirements for further evolution, tell me. We will evolve him because I am interested in what kind of evolutionary path he will take. Understood. He did an excellent job, Diablo, I praise him, acknowledging his success in making the demon stronger. He certainly did a good job. I am not worthy enough to receive praise from you, my lord, he humbly replied. He seemed like he wanted to say more, but I cut him off immediately because I didn't want to listen to his blabbering right now. Well, will you serve me? Not wanting to hear any more from Diablo, I shifted my attention towards this demon and asked him. It will be my pleasure to serve the Lord of Diablo-sama, he replied, still bowing. I think Diablo might have overdone it a little, as the demon hadn't even moved since arriving here. I see. Then take these parts of the golem as a medium to stay in the material world, I said, bringing the golem out of my imaginary space. It's not made from any special metal, it's just normal adamantite. I think this metal is of legendary grade or something. From now on, your name will be Beretta, I declared. Just as I named it, the newly named Beretta inhabited and fused with the golem and began to evolve. At first, it formed into a circle, but then its chest, head, hips, arms, and legs took shape, along with the face. The face was now hidden behind a mask. Instead of the previous black skin and long black hair, it now had pale and bloodless skin and flowing white hair. The eye slits on the mask glowed crimson. I, Beretta, the descendant of the black lineage, pledge my loyalty to you, my lord, he declared as he inhabited and fused with the golem I gave him. Ciel, what kind of new race has he become? Master Beretta has evolved from greater demon to archdoll, a completely new species. New, this is interesting. But I think this is enough for today, we still have some work to do. Beretta, now Vildor will take you to one of my friends, and your job is to serve that person, I assigned his task. Understood, Rimuru-sama. Beretta replied, bowing respectfully. Hey, old man. I called out Vildor, who was sitting on the grass, leaning against a tree, and reading his manga without a care in the world. Did you finish your thing? Vildor asked, standing up. Yes, I'm done with what I was doing. And this is Beretta, the demon that you need to bring to Ramers. I introduced them to each other. I'll be leaving now, and don't forget the gift that you promised me, Vildor said before leaving with Beretta. Diablo, I addressed him. Now that everyone else had left, only Ciel, Diablo, and I were left in the garden. I have a very special job for you, I told him. Yes, my lord, Diablo responded promptly. Listen closely, this is your new task. With that, I began to explain his new task. Did you understand everything? I asked after finishing the explanation. Yes, my lord, I will do this job with the utmost care, he replied with a nod. Good, you can go now, I said, and with a respectful bow, he left. Now that Ciel and I are alone. Hey Ciel, let's go inside, I said to her. Beep. Ciel gave a surprise reaction. She reacted this way because before she could say anything, I princess carried her, and we headed towards our bedroom to sleep. Time skip. The next day. I feel refreshed. This was the first thought that came to mind as I woke up. Actually, I can't say I slept, instead, I should say I took a nap because I only slept for an hour and a half. Upon waking up, I saw the most beautiful thing in all creation, Ciel's face. I could gaze upon this face for eternity. Time to wake up, honey. I whispered softly, leaning in to gently kiss her forehead. Is it morning already? She mumbled, still half asleep. Yes, it's morning, I confirmed with a smile. And today, we're going on a date. I added enthusiastically. As I spoke, her eyes widened in surprise and joy, and she sat up quickly with astonishing speed. Really, her voice sparkled with excitement. Yes, really. I chuckled, enjoying her reaction. Now, she was beaming with a bright smile. Let's take a shower, and then we have so many things to do, I said, heading towards the bathroom with her beside me. Oh, how I enjoy these quiet moments with her in the morning, and don't forget about the shower.